All right, so the country mouse and the city mouse. That's the title of the poem. Your poem ko title ke chha ta baba? The country mouse and the city mouse. What comes to your mind when someone says the country mouse and the city mouse? What comes to your head? तिम्रो दिमागले के सोच्छ?
City mouse will the mouse who is living in the city.
Right.
Country mouse is
What is a country mouse? A mouse that lives in the village, in the countryside, right? Not in an urban area, not in the city, in the mountains or in the villages, right? So that's what we mean by the country mouse here. All right, it's not country in the sense of desh, nation. It's a region which is filled with fields, farmlands, where there are small houses, green everywhere. That place is called as countryside. Okay, so let's read the poem. In a snug little cot lived a fat little mouse. In a snug little cot. You know what cot is, right?
what is
Cot is where you sleep, right? Or it can mean also a small place where you take rest, where you live. Like cottage भने जस्तै यहाँ पनि कट भन्न खोजेको एउटा सानो ठाउँ जहाँ तिमी बस्छौ. कट भनेको अर्को कुरा खाटला पनि के भनेर भनिन्छ? कट भनेर भनिन्छ. So here it's a small house that it's representing. A snug means to fit very closely. To fit very closely. Warm, snug. So you can snug in your blankets. तिमी के गर्न सक्छौ? तिम्रो blanket भित्र snug गर्न सक्छौ. You can fit yourself into a warm blanket, right? Which is warm and which is protective. To fit very closely. Snug. In a snug little cot lived a fat little mouse. The mouse was fat. So this fat little mouse, do you think it's a country mouse or a city mouse?
city mouse.
Nah. What? It's living in a small house. What does that mean? Definitely a country mouse. It means we are talking about a country mouse. Who enjoyed? Who? The country mouse. Enjoyed. Unmolested the range of the house. Range means area. You have a large area around your house is called as range here. Range means large area around the house. Range means large area around the house. So let me write down. Area, open area around the house. And that is likely, right? In the village, you have open area around the house. Around the house, and that can be replaced. Unmolested. Molested means untouched. Unmolested means untouched. Not disturbed. Undisturbed. Unmolested means in the village you have no one to disturb, right? Unmolested. Molested means disturbed, fiddled, used. Unmolested means quiet, unused, undisturbed, untouched. The range of house, so it could roam around freely in that whole area. Who? The country mouse. With plain food content. What does this mean? Content means satisfied. Content means satisfied. Content means satisfied. So what does this line mean? With plain food content. Of course, it's not grammatically correct. It's a poem, right?
Yes.
That means the country mouse was satisfied with plain food. What does plain food mean? Plain food mean simple. Plain food. Plain food means simple. Plain food. Simple food. Simple food. Dal bhat. What is plain food of Nepal? Dal bhat tarkari, right? Simple. She would breakfast on cheese. Her breakfast was cheese, because in the countryside you have farms, you have goats, you have cows, so you make cheese, yogurt, milk. These are like things that you eat when you are in a village, right? When you go to a village, you eat these things. Of course, in Nepal we don't make cheese, we make ghee, paneer, and all that. So it would breakfast on cheese. She would breakfast on cheese. She dined upon bacon. Dined means past of to dine. To dine. Bhojan garnu. She would dine upon bacon. What did she eat?
Bacon.
She would eat bacon. Bacon looks like this. You see here in the picture. That's bacon. Bacon is meat of generally pig. No, I don't think it's pig, but animals. Okay, domestic animals. Bacon. She would dine upon bacon. That's generally what is found. And supped on grey peas. And she would have grey peas like this. You see, that's grey peas. Chana. Chana and bacon. You see here. This is bacon, and this is grey peas. A staple food in the villages of Europe. Europe को क्या होता? Staple food, common food, like dal bhat, achar, tarkari. That's common food of Nepal, right? Anybody can afford it. Anybody can have it, even if you are poor. Okay, so normal food of Europe. And supped means, it could mean to have something in a liquid form. Supped means to have something in liquid form. Or it could also mean, or it could also mean to have supper. To have supper भनेको कहिलेको खाना हो? Evening food. Before you go to bed, you have supper. Morning, what do you have? You have breakfast. In the noon, you have lunch. And then what do you do, Lazy Raza? You are sleeping. Huh? And then what do you have? You have some snacks at 4. And then dinner. And then probably supper. Or supper and dinner can be same. I mean, you are eating too many times. If you have to have dinner and then supper and then again at midnight again snacks. A friend from the town to the cottage did stray, and he said he was come for a short visit to pay. So all of a sudden, what happened? A friend from the town, a mouse, came from the town to the cottage. The cottage, the small house, did stray. What happened? What does this mean? Stray. Cottage is a small house made up of straw, mud, and stone. That's a cottage. What happened? A friend from town to the cottage did stray. What does this mean? Stray. Stray means to deviate, to roam around, like we say, stray dogs. You say stray dogs. They have no place to go. They are just straying around. Stray dogs. यता र उता गरेका कुकुरहरू. No particular, direction. So one day what happened? What happened? A friend from town to the cottage. Somehow it happened to land there in the cottage. What? The town mouse, right? to stray, to wander around. To stray means to wander around. Wander भनेको यो दारा उता हाल्लिँदै. Wander around aimlessly, without any aim, without any purpose. And he said, and who said?
And City Mouse.
City Mouse said he was come a short visit to pay. He was there to pay a visit. So, of course, this is a poem, so you can jumble the words, right? But when you write down as a sentence, you have to write that the city mouse came to pay a visit. You don't say visit to pay. Doesn't make any sense when you are writing a sentence. Only in poem it makes sense. Understood?
Yes.
In Nepali also there are poems like, for example, म सहरको कहानी कहाँबाट बताऊं भनेर कसैले भन्यो भने नर्मली बोल्दाखेरि त म सहरको कहानी कहाँबाट बताऊं कसले पो भन्छ र भन्दैन. This is a way of saying, I mean, this is what happens in poetry. But in normal language, you have to use the subject, verb, object. Right? And then what happens? You pay a visit. Kya ho yo? Pay a visit. That means you visit someone, to visit someone. Out of memory, when you remember someone, you go up and visit, and you call it what do you call it as a phrase? To pay a visit. I paid a visit. बुझ्नुभयो? उसको past के हुन्छ? I paid a visit. So the mouse spread her table as gay as you please. So what did she do? The country mouse? She spread her table. What does this mean? Spread her table. So on the dining table, you spread various different things that you have. That's called as spreading a table. You arrange the table, you put the cloth on the table, and then you bring in things that you would like to offer to your guest. That is called as spreading a table. You cannot spread a table here and there. That's not what it means. To spread a table means to prepare for dinner. To prepare the table for dinner with all the things to be eaten. To prepare a table for dinner. As gay as you please. And gay, what does gay mean? Gay means to be happy. She was very happy. Gay means happy. Hello, Raja. Gay means to be happy. So she was very happy and brought the nice bacon and charming gay peas. And what did the country mouse bring? Bacon. Nice bacon. So on the table she laid bacon and charming means really nice, right? Charming, pleasant. Grey peas. So she got what? These grey peas here. And the bacon. All right. The visitor frowned and he thought to be witty. Cried he, "You must know I come from the city, where we all should be shocked at provisions like these, for we never eat bacon and horrid gay peas." Now, the city mouse says, the visitor frowned. What? Like this. That's frowning. Frowning? Like here, you see, this is an expression of frowning. This is an expression of frowning. When you dislike something, when you are not happy with something, you frown, right? So what happened? What happened? The city mouse frowned. And he thought to be witty, and he wanted to be witty. Witty means a little hilarious. He wanted to be witty. Witty vaniko, to be hilarious, to make laugh at something, to be more to make some kind of comedic scene, right? Witty भनेको कस्तो त अलि बाठो भनेर अलिकति यसो जोक गरे जस्तो लाग्छ. Witty, to make someone laugh, to say something in a jovial way. Witty, to be hilarious. Hilarious, हँसाउनु. हँसाउने हिसाबमा witty हुँदै hilarious, clever. भन्यो, cried he, that means he said, you must know, hello country mouse, you must know, I come from city, you know that I come from city, where jaha we all should be shocked at provisions. All the food that you eat is called provision. तिम्रो टेक केयर गर्नको लागि जे सामानहरु छन् त्यसलाई के भनेर भनिन्छ? Provision. It could be food, it could be health provision, things that you need for your health, it could be for your work also, it could be for anything, that things that you need to do something is called as provision. Provision भनेको provision, let's write down. Things or something. We would be shocked. हामीलाई त अचम्म पर्छ यस्तो चीज देखेर, तिमीले खानाको बारेमा यस्तो चीजहरु लिएर आयो, यो देख्दाखेरि के हुन्छ हामी सिटी उहरुले, सिटी माउसहरु. We would be shocked, we would be surprised for such kind of food that you have. For we never eat bacon. We never eat bacon. Bacon त हामी कहिले खादैनौ. And horrid means horrible. Right? Does it look delicious even? Does it look delicious? If you compare it with something like this here, which one looks more delicious? This one looks more delicious for everybody. So that's why he says horrid means horrible. Horrible grey peas. And then he says, inverted comma. Inverted comma starts. That means someone says something. Who says? Probably let's read it. To town, come with me. What does this mean? Please come to the town with me. I will give you a treat. Some excellent food, most delightful to eat. With me shall you feast, just as long as you please. Come, live this fat bacon and shocking grey peas. So the the city mouse says, come to the town with me. I'll give you a treat. What is a treat? What is a treat? What does treat mean? Treat भनेको के हो? Treat means a feast. When you give a treat to your friends, that means you bring so many different things, so many varieties, delicious food, and that's a treat. विशेष खालको ट्रीट गर्ने भन्छ नि, सम्मान गर्नु कुनै चीजले. यहाँ चाहिँ खाना सम्बन्धी, खानाले सम्मान गर्नु. That means you are respecting someone by giving them a lot of food, different varieties, delicious delicacies. You just had lunch, huh? Don't salivate. Some excellent food, most delightful to eat. Delightful, blissful. I will give you all that. With me shall you feast. So you will feast. To have feast means?
To have dinner.
To have dinner. To have amazing dinner. That's called as feast. It could be particularly on a festival day, or it could be anything, right? A feast. Feast is an elaborate dining. Elaborate भनेको एकदमै भव्य खाना. त्यसलाई के भनेर भनिन्छ? Feast. Feast भनेको elaborate भनेको एकदमै भव्य. Elaborate food. Elaborate dining. Like feast भनेर भनिन्छ. Feast as long as you please. You have it. Come. Leave this fat bacon and shocking grey peas. Yes, so you call your grey peas, and then you have this bacon which is also smoky. You've been eating for a long time. Well, come on, leave this all every day the same thing. Huh? Every day the same thing. Come on, leave this. Huh? This kind of invitation she could not refuse. The invitation was so good that oh yeah, I am. It was impossible to refuse, right? If somebody comes and tells you, come on, I'll give you a treat, I will give you a feast, I will give you something delightful to eat, and then come on, please. All ease. You don't want to refuse, do you, Praveen? Absolutely not. You will leave SLC exam and go to eat. Leave this SE exam, come on, let's eat. Huh? Leave this peace and all that. So, this kind of invitation she could not refuse, and the city mouse wished not a moment to lose. Reluctant, she quitted the fields and the trees, the delicious fat bacon and charming grey peas. So the country mouse could not refuse. The city mouse immediately rushed and then wished not a moment to lose. Okay, we should not lose any moment here. Come on, let's go fast. Reluctant. Reluctant means not a little hesitant. Reluctant means a little. Who was hesitant? The country mouse was like, but she could not refuse. It was delicious. It was so nice. You know, his friend was offering something nice. So he really could not refuse. She has been asking so much. All right. And then reluctant, she quitted. Okay. She quitted the fields. Fields means in the village you have fields, right? The farmland and all that. She quits. And the trees also she left. The delicious fat bacon, for her it was delicious. Every day she was having the same thing. But she left that also. And the charming grey peas. And then they slyly crept under the gay parlor door. What happened now? Slyly crept. Cleverly. With a lot of wisdom, let's say. Slyly bhane ko ke ho? Cleverly bhanna sakyo, with wisdom. Sometimes this also is true. Wisdom, a little bit of wisdom. When you know something how to do, you know. But sometimes it can have a negative meaning also. Ali chaturai badi. More than necessary. If you are clever more than necessary, you can say slyly. They slyly crept. Crept bhane ko ke ho? Past of के creep. Creep भनेको के हो? Creep भनेको कुनै चीजमा घस्रिनु, भुइँमा. To lie on the floor and move, make a movement. So they slyly, very quietly, very cleverly, they crept under a gay parlor door. There was a parlor door, gay, the most celebrated, happy gay parlor door, where a feast had been given the evening before. So there was a feast before that. Before that evening, there was a feast in that gay parlor. In that parlor, there was a feast for somebody else. So they also entered the same place. And it must be confessed, they on dainties did sales. And it must be confessed. Confessed means to tell the truth. Confessed means to be honest, to tell the truth. So it must be told the truth that what did they do? Hello. What did they do? They on deities did seize. Seize means to attack something, to hold something. Seize means. So what did they attack? What did they get hold of? Dainties. These are dainties, you see here, dainties. As soon as they entered the parlor, there were things, amazing things to eat. So immediately both both the mice, they attacked the dainties. They could not refuse. They seized it. They got hold of it to eat, of course, right? Attack in the sense not here to kill someone, but to eat. Far better than bacon or even grey peas. And it was delicious. It was yummy. It was much, much better than what? Grey peas and bacon, the everyday food. Huh? The same thing, old same thing. Ah, what a delight. And then here was custard and trifle and cheesecakes, good store, nice sweetmeats and jellies and 20 things more. All that art that it had invented that palate to please, except some fat bacon and smoking grey peas. Except that there was everything. Smoking grey peas, fat bacon, except than that, everything was there. You see, that is called custard. Custard was there, and then dainties was there, and then you got also some. Let's have a look at, and that's the jellies. The jellies were there. Everything was there to eat. Huh? And the trifle, also trifle. Where is trifle? Let me show you what trifle is as well. Trifle is a kind of cake. Trifle is a kind of cake which has many layers. Chocolate and then cream and then cake, all of that. Yeah, delicious. Trifle, sweetmeats and jellies, 20 things more. Hundreds of things there. All that art had invented the palate to please, and the whole art of making that food, those 20 varieties, those 30 varieties was what? Was invented the palate to please. What is a palate? Palate is here, your tongue or your mouth. Palate is your mouth. The upper part of your mouth is called palate in science, but generally what we mean by palate is the tongue, the whole space inside your mouth that enjoys the delicacies. Inside stomach, everything is same. What you enjoy is only in the mouth, right? In the tongue, the palate, because it gives you taste. You can sense the taste. So the whole art, the jellies and the pastries and the dainties and then custard, all of that was made. That is an art, isn't it? What was the purpose? To please the palate. To please the palate. So that's here, palate here. Oh, to please means khushi banauna, right? To make someone, except some fat bacon and smoking grey peas. Who cares about all that? Anyways, and then they were nicely regaling, regaling to have a lot of food. Regale means have a lot of food, to enjoy. They were regaling. When into the room came the dog and the cat. And then suddenly what happened, Baba? A dog and a cat came in, and the maid with a broom. And there was a maid. Maid means a woman who takes care of who cleans the place. Maid. It could be man or woman. A person cleans. Cleans, right? Maid with a broom. You know what a broom is? Yes. They jumped in the custard. So immediately what happened? They jumped in the custard. So the custard is here. Jumped in the custard, both up to their knees. So their knees were completely filled with the custard. Both the mice, right? The country mouse sighed for her bacon and peas. Oh my God, this is too much. While eating, who disturbs? And then the country mouse said, oof, that is sigh, a long breath, a release of long breath, release of. When do we do that? When there is something which is a little troublesome for you, and then you release that air, breath, heavy breath, right?
Yes.
So she sighed for her bacon and peas. I wish I could have go back and have those peas and bacon because it's too much. Dogs are coming, cats are coming, maid is coming. Cried she to her friend, and she told her friend, get me safely away. I can venture no longer in London to stay. For if oft you receive interruptions like these, give me my nice bacon and charming grey peas. You London Manu Sarma, I cannot venture, I cannot remain, I cannot walk around. Venture means to walk around, to see, to explore. Venture means to explore. I cannot explore London like this. And I cannot venture and stay here. For if oft means often. Oft means often. Baramba. For if oft you receive interruptions. Interruptions mean disturbances. If we are going to be disturbed like this all the time, while regaling, while having all those food, it is worthless for me. Give me my nice bacon, please. Get me back. I want my nice bacon and charming grey peas. And then your living is splendid and gay, to be sure, but the dread of disturbance you ever endure. I taste true delight and contentment and ease, and I feast on fat bacon and charming grey peas. So the country mouse says, your living is splendid, it's wonderful. तिम्रो जीवन पद्धति एकदमै खतरा छ. Splendid भनेको के हो? Splendid, awesome. It is appreciable. High quality. Quality is great. And gay, you are probably happy, yes, to be sure. But the dread of disturbance you ever endure. Dread means hello. Don't sleep. Dread means fear. Dread means the fear that you have to endure, all the time you have to be fearful. Sometimes the cats are going to come. Sometimes the dogs are going to come. Right? It's like being in the school. Sometimes this teacher is going to come. Sometimes that teacher is going to come. You don't know what to do, what not to do. Sometimes another teacher comes. Right? The dread, the fear of disturbance you ever endure. Endure means to bear. Bear. Endure भनेको कुनै चिजलाई के गर्नु? सहनु. के गर्नु? सहनु. Endure. I taste true delight in contentment and ease. तर मेरो लागि, for me, what is more important? True delight is in true delight. True happiness is in contentment. Contentment means contentment. के हो contentment भनेको? Contentment. Satisfaction. And ease. Ease means when something is, when you are at ease. Easy. Comfortable. When I feel comfortable, when I don't have to worry who is going to come, when the cats are going to come, when the dogs are going to come. If I have to always be bothered with all that, I better eat what? I better feast on fat bacon and charming grey peas. Please take me back. That is the meaning of that's the poem by Richard Scrafton Sharpie. What do you think is the meaning now? What do you think is the lesson? Moral. What is the moral? What do you think we should understand from this poem? Well, the way we enjoy life is different for each other, for everyone. You have a different perspective of life. The other person also has another perspective of life. What is true happiness, what is content is different. For the city mouse, the jellies, the pastries, right? The cakes, dainties, that was happiness for him. Whereas for the country mouse, what was happiness? Well, yes, fat bacon and charming grapes. But for, I mean, the food, the country mouse also was enjoying the food. But what did she not enjoy in the city? The environment. It was too noisy. It was too disturbing. It was impossible for her to live in quiet and peace in the countryside, in a free area, open area, in the fields, was much more important, where nobody disturbed her. She could have her dinner in peace, right? That was much more important. So the main idea of the poem is that we all have different opinion, or different, what do you say, perspective, different feelings about what happiness is. For some, happiness is about having jellies and feast and all that every day. But for some, having a simple food but living in a very simple area is another way of life. There is no uniformity. There is no uniformity. And once you have, you see here, once you have a certain way of life, even if you go to another, if you spend a few days, or for some time, if you spend life in another way, you want to get back to your original way of living. You want to get back to the original way of living. You may wander too much, you may wander, you may stray here and there, but then at the end, what happens? You want to get back to the place where you belong. You want to get back to your own lifestyle, which is comfortable, which is easy for you, right? So this is the poem of two, the country mouse and the city mouse. In a snug little cot lived a fat little mouse who enjoyed unmolested the range of the house. With plain food content, she would breakfast on cheese. She dined upon bacon and supped on grey peas. A friend from the town to the cottage did stray, and he said he was come a short visit to pay. So the mouse spread her table as gay as you please, and brought the nice bacon and charming grey peas. The visitor frowned, and he thought to be witty. Cried he, "You must know I come from the city, where we all should be shocked at provisions like these, for we never eat bacon and horrid grey peas. To town come with me, I will give you a treat, some excellent food, most delightful to eat. With me shall you feast just as long as you please. Come, leave this fat bacon and shocking grey peas." This kind invitation she could not refuse, and the city mouse wished not a moment to lose. Reluctant, she quitted the fields and the trees, the delicious fat bacon and charming grey peas. They slyly crept under a gay parlour door, where a feast had been given the evening before, and it must be confessed, they on dainties did seize, far better than bacon or even grey peas. Here were custard and trifle and cheesecakes, good store, nice sweetmeats and jellies, and 20 things more. All the art had invented the palate to please, except some fat bacon and smoking grey peas. They were nicely regaling when into the room came the dog and the cat and the maid with a broom. They jumped in the custard, both up on to their knees. The country mouse sighed for her bacon and peas. Cried she to her friend, "Get me safely away, I can venture no longer in London to stay. For if oft you receive interruptions like these, give me my nice bacon and charming grey peas." Your living is splendid and gay, to be sure, but the dread of disturbance you ever endure, a true taste, true delight in contentment and ease, and a feast on fat bacon and charming grey peas. So that's the poem. Right.
Which are
All right. So you have to go through the words. Please go through the words.
so to get everything more comfortable and protected unmolested you wonder strong you wonder unique strong reluctant hesitate terrible with the period in which they are the countryman was happy on his own. Whatever